Hey guys and dolls, Alessa here. I just got back from an amazing trip to Seattle, and I can't wait to show you all the amazing things I saw. From bustling markets to hidden speakeasies, this city has so much personality. I was exploring for a few days, taking it slow, sipping coffee, and just soaking in the Seattle vibes. So grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's wander the Emerald City together. One of the highlights of my trip was definitely the Seattle boat tour. There's just something about seeing the city from the water that changes everything. It gives you this whole new perspective.
New money is coming in through tech sectors, but it's a very old town. We date back to the 1850s, and a lot of our waterfront is much the same as it used to be, at least structurally. And the big thing I'm talking about there is our waterfront piers. So the piers here are going to be the raised buildings that stick out into the water here.
As we pulled away from the dock, the skyline slowly opened up behind us. The Space Needle standing tall, the Ferris wheel spinning along the waterfront, and the mountains hazy in the distance. Our tour guide shared all these little tidbits and history about Seattle. Fun facts too. Honestly, I was just taking in the view, the fresh air, and that calm rhythm to the water. It was one of those perfect Seattle moments. Quiet, cinematic, and just enough time to let everything slow down. Right along the waterfront, I couldn't resist a ride on the Seattle Great Wheel. It's one of those things that looks touristy until you actually get up there, and then it's just beautiful, or in my case, a little scary. The slow spin gives you this incredible view of Elliott Bay and the skyline all at once. I went early in the morning, and the lighting was unreal. It got quiet up there, peaceful even, and it makes you realize just how stunning Seattle really is. Next up, we had to make a stop at Top Hot Donuts because no trip was complete without something sweet, and my husband loved this place when he came to Seattle the first time. And I just knew I'd be here for a while. The space has this old school university charm to it, like a vintage library meets cozy cafe, with shelves of books and awesome indie alternative music in the background. I ordered a couple donuts, including an original glazed, because you can't go wrong with an original. Each bite was fluffy, perfectly chewy, and just the right amount of sweet. It felt like the kind of place where locals actually got to hang out, read books, catch up with friends, or take in quiet moments in the middle of the city. So if you're ever in Seattle and you want something that feels both nostalgic and comforting, Top Hot is definitely a spot to try. I had to stop by the original Starbucks at Pike Place. It's tiny, it's always packed, and honestly, it's a little chaotic, but in the best way. There's something special about being in the place where it all started, surrounded by the smell of freshly ground coffee and that old school logo everyone stops to photograph. Now watch me hilariously explain that, while also being fascinated by other people's dogs. Just went into the first flavor Starbucks, although that's how it's billed, although it's like really, truly the second, I think. And I'm double fisting and I bought merch and I love it here. This is great. I know Max is. She gave us a sample of the Guatemala blend, and I am awake now. It's really early in the morning. West Coast time. I almost said East Coast. I'm not on these. Anyway. Oh, how cute. Pike Place Market. It lives up to the hype. The energy there is something else. Vendors calling out, colorful flowers everywhere, and of course, the iconic fish toss. I loved wandering through the little shops, discovering handmade jewelry locations, local art, and those perfectly aged cheeses that you just want to taste immediately. And of course, I couldn't leave without soaking in the view of the waterfront. There's something about this market that feels both classic Seattle and totally magical at the same time. I couldn't resist visiting the gum wall. Yes, that gum wall. It's just as wild and sticky as you imagine. Every inch of this alleyway is covered in colorful gum, like a chaotic mosaic of people's little marks on the city. It's definitely one of the more quirky things to see. It's definitely very gross, but it's also kind of fascinating. I spent a few minutes staring at it, laughing at some of the shapes and colors, snapping a few photos because honestly, it's the kind of thing you have to see to believe. But also, I absorbed it as art, because that's what it feels like to me at the end of the day. Just a tiny bit of history and a tiny bit of art. No trip to Seattle is complete without visiting the Space Needle. Honestly, seeing it in person is a whole vibe. I went up to the observation deck and just, wow. The city sprawls out in every direction, with the mountains in the distance and Elliott Bay shimmering down. We lingered there for a while, snapping photos, grabbing a bite to eat, taking in the skyline, and just feeling so small and in awe of it at the same time. It's definitely one of those moments you never forget. If you are someone who isn't so comfortable with heights, I definitely recommend not looking down. The Museum of Pop Culture. Wow, this place is a whole world in its own. The building itself is like a piece of art, all curvy and futuristic. It even has the Seattle monorail going right through it. Inside is where the real magic happens. I wandered through exhibits on music, sci-fi, and pop culture history. From iconic guitars to immersive installations that make you feel like you've stepped into another dimension. It was so cool. There's so much to take in, but I love just letting myself get lost in it for a while. The Museum of Pop Culture really reminds you why we love stories and creativity. It's bold, it's playful, and completely unexpected. Definitely a must-see if you want a taste of Seattle's artsy side. We made our way to Sisters and Brothers, a lively spot in Interbay that's all about good vibes and even better food. This isn't your typical bar. It's a soul food, high energy hangout, and the hot chicken is the real star. I went for chicken tenders, crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. On the side, we had the smoked Gouda mac and cheese, which was rich, creamy, and the perfect comfort food. The atmosphere here is electric. Its retro decor was amazing, and you can bet that you'll have an amazing time. And we've tried this for like 2 weeks now. This is lavender apple cider. Oh wow, that's fun. Oh, if they ever thought about warming this up, that would be very rich. Yeah, they have warm ones. So incredibly good. I've tried 2 so far. I might try them all, I'm not sure. So good. Beecher's handmade cheese, where you can actually watch them making the cheese right through big glass windows, stirring these giant vats of creamy goodness, and honestly, it was very hypnotic. The whole place smells like warm, buttery comfort, and I wasn't even mad about it. We tried their mac and cheese, which they called the world's best, and honestly, they might not be wrong. It's rich, perfectly sharp, and just melts in your mouth. Okay, open this bad boy up. They say this is the best mac and cheese in town at Beecher's. Woo! Alright, let's try some. You get that balance of nostalgia and gourmet all at once. Amazing mac and cheese. There's something about Beecher's that just feels local and genuine, like a reminder that the best food usually comes from people who love what they do.
Like flavor wise. I'm a fan.
That was very good, guys.
I like it.
Make sure you wander over to Capitol Hill. It's full of energy, quirky streets, and colorful murals all around in every corner. I popped into Glossier Seattle, which was fun. It's always a good time in there. It's minimal, bright, and filled with the best products. Couldn't resist testing a few things and getting help from the most amazing people. After that, we browsed a few local shops nearby, finding little treasures and quirky spots along the way. And then we traveled over to University Village and University Heights, which are totally different kinds of shopping. It's more open and airy and relaxed, with a mix of big name stores and boutique finds. We loved walking around. We grabbed some food, we grabbed some coffee, we did some people watching. It was the perfect contrast to the energy of Capitol Hill. It felt like a full day of exploring the Seattle shopping scene, from trendy streets to peaceful and upscale outdoor malls. A reminder that every neighborhood here has its own personality. Pink Door, which felt like stepping into a secret little world tucked away in plain sight, is cozy, romantic, and a little bit mysterious, and exactly my kind of spot. It was the kind of place where you could sit for hours, chatting, and just watch the city move around you. Seattle's Molten Chocolate Bakery, hotcakes. The moment I walked in, the bright, playful decor hit me, and the smell of fresh chocolate and baked goods was irresistible. I went for the tiramisu, soft and decadent, with just the right balance of sweet and coffee flavor. And I paired it with a matcha latte that was creamy and slightly earthy. It's the kind of place that makes you linger, snap a few photos, and maybe even treat yourself to one or more bite. Because really, why not? Make sure you take a Seattle Underground tour. This was so fun, and also a little spooky.
They use sawdust to fill the streets. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, everything. So the fire starts 4 blocks to the north, June 6, 1889. Cabinet Maker's Shop.
Walking through the hidden streets beneath the city, you get this real sense of Seattle's history, how the city literally rebuilt itself after the Great Fire, and more. The tour guides are incredible storytellers, full of hilarious anecdotes and weird tidbits you'd never learn otherwise. I felt like I was stepping back in time while sneaking around secret passageways. Also, if you get Clay as your tour guide, he is amazing. You're gonna have so much fun. He was so fun. The Spheres by Amazon. You step inside and it's like being in a jungle, but in the middle of the city. The plants are massive, the pathways are winding, and everywhere you look, there's something green and wild. It's quiet and peaceful in a way you wouldn't expect in downtown Seattle. And we spent a lot of time just wandering and taking it all in. If you love nature and architecture colliding, this is a must-see. Do keep in mind that it is a workspace in a work area, and you'll need to get on the website to reserve a time slot, as they don't let people inside every day. It was a cool place. Wow. We couldn't leave Seattle without going to Ivar's at least once. Well, the husband, not me. Currently going to get his seafood fix with a little bit of clam chowder. Right? Clam chowder?
I do this in memory of you. You're allergic.
He knows for the rest of the day he will no longer be able to kiss me in any way because I cannot do shellfish. So, R.I.P. to our kisses. It's right along the waterfront. And the moment you step in, it's got a classic Seattle vibe. Salty air, seagulls overheard, and the hum of water just outside. My husband tried their famous clam chowder. But this was a timeless place, and it was something we had to do. It was casual and comforting and felt like a true Seattle institution. A must-do. We hopped on a ferry to Bainbridge Island, and let me tell you, there's nothing like seeing Seattle fade behind you as the water stretches out in every direction. The ferry ride itself was so peaceful, with the skyline shrinking in the distance and the fresh salty air making everything feel wide open. Once we got there, we went over to Pegasus Coffee and immediately knew I'd found a new favorite coffee spot. I had a matcha, which was rich and smooth. We also had some treats. The whole vibe was just amazing. I wanted to linger there for hours, but we had things to do. Afterwards, we walked towards the marina, and then we popped over to some of the local shops that scattered along their main street, finding unique gifts, homemade goods, and little treasures that you don't see anywhere else. Before I knew it, it was time to head back to the ferry. I enjoyed the quiet charm of Bainbridge Island and looked back as we made our way back to Seattle. Gasworks Park. It might just be one of my favorite spots in Seattle. It is wide open space that was once used as an old gasification plant. And instead of tearing it down, the city turned it into something beautiful. The old industrial structures are still there, covered in color and character, sitting right next to the water with the Seattle skyline in the distance. We went in the late afternoon and the whole place glowed. There were a ton of people there. There were even people flying kites. There were people watching boats drift by on Lake Union. It was calm, almost nostalgic energy, like a quiet pause in the middle of a really busy day. If you're ever in Seattle and you want a view that feels straight out of a postcard, Gasworks Park is the spot. I would twirl in the grass and sing Sound of Music, but there's so much geese poop out here. Can't do it. We made our way to Paseo and Fremont, and I have to say, the ham and cheese sandwich might have been one of the best things I've ever eaten. The bread was perfectly toasted, the ham was savory and flavorful, and the cheese melts in all the right ways. Every bite was rich, satisfying, and exactly the kind of indulgent comfort food I needed on this day. Molly Moon's in Queen Anne was amazing. We needed something a little bit sweeter after those sandwiches, so I decided on the honey lavender ice cream. It was a very unique flavor. I wanted to give it a try. It was so dreamy, creamy, floral, and just the right balance of sweet and subtle. I had 2 scoops. It was like magic in a cup. Perfect for the warm afternoon we were having. The final place we ate at in Seattle was a wonderful place called Moto Pizza. It's their take on a deep dish, and it was amazing. The crust was thick but not heavy, the cheese was perfectly gooey, and the sauce was tangy and flavorful. It was the kind of pizza that made me slow down a bit, savor each bite, maybe even go back for a second slice. Truth be told, I don't think I could fit any more in my stomach. I couldn't help but feel grateful for all the little moments that make Seattle so special. From the bustling streets to quiet corners, the city has an effortless rhythm, and I loved every second of it. And that's a wrap on my Seattle adventure, guys and dolls. From the bustling streets of the Pike Place Market to the quiet charm of Bainbridge Island, the city surprised me at every turn. I loved wandering through Capitol Hill. I had amazing donuts and coffee and cocktails and pies and discovered hidden gems like Sisters and Brothers. Seattle has this beautiful mix of energy and calm. Every neighborhood felt like its own little world. Whether it was watching the skyline from the ferry, exploring quirky shops, or indulging in decadent slices of pizza, it felt like I got to see the city from so many angles, and it was unforgettable. Thank you for joining me on this trip and exploring Seattle with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment telling me your favorite Seattle spots or any hidden gems I need to check out the next time I'm there. Until then, keep wandering, keep tasting, and I'll see you on the next adventure.